Tara, why don't we get going? Respect everybody's time.
Morning. Ready, Charles?
Yep.
Here goes. Good morning. My name is Tara Mugford Wilson. Currently, I serve as Vice Chair of the Luzerne Foundation Board, and I chair our Grants Distribution Committee with some wonderful other board members. On behalf of our Board of Directors, staff, we welcome you, and we're excited about our 2021 Nonprofit Forum. While we hoped to host this forum in person, we decided to meet virtually out of an abundance of caution. Still, we hope you find the video presentation format to be innovative as well as informative. We appreciate all of the people who put these videos together. It was a lot more work for them this year, but hopefully it will be very interesting for all of us in a different way. Each video is approximately 4 minutes in length. Some videos will be less. We hope you'll gain a deeper appreciation of the great work being done by all of our Luzerne County charities. Following each video's conclusion, the audience will have 2 minutes to field questions to each nonprofit representative. Today, we will view 15 videos, which will, in essence, take us on a virtual site visit to learn more about each charity and the needs and challenges they face. To talk about the 4 fields of interest represented in today's forum is Charles Barber, the Luzerne Foundation President and CEO. Charles?
Thank you, Tara. And thank all of you for joining us here today. But certainly many thanks to Diane Dutko for all of her care and attention to details to coordinate this virtual forum. And sitting to my left is Doug Martin, who has provided invaluable technical support to make this all work. As you may know, the foundation feels 7 key areas, fields of interest that constitute a well-rounded community. Today, we will hear from 4 of those fields of interest: arts and culture, health and wellness, historic preservation and the environment, and education. Each of these fields of interest work in concert to help shape the fabric of our community. Imagine what our community would be like without arts and culture. Making the arts part of our lives can help us to better appreciate ourselves as a community and enrich us culturally. Health and wellness can improve our behaviors and lower health risks and reduce incidence of chronic diseases. Wellness is especially important as we age because regular exercise and proper nutrition can help prevent a variety of ailments. Historic preservation and the environment, preserving the history of a place through its significant historic resources, gives a community its unique character. Historic preservation provides a link to the roots of the community and its people and adds to the quality of life, making for a more livable community. A clean environment is essential for healthy living. It's our responsibility to protect natural resources and to teach our children and grandchildren to do the same. Finally, education. You have heard it said quite often that education is the key to success. It starts at birth and continues throughout our lives. Education helps us learn, gain knowledge, and become more intelligent. It provides us the ability to achieve a lucrative and enjoyable career. We hope you enjoy the forum, and we thank all of you for joining us. Please remember to write any questions in the chat box at the bottom of your Zoom screen. That's how we're going to have questions after each of the presentations. And you may have to periodically adjust the volume on it because each of the videos may have a different volume quality to it. We had no control over that, but we're off. Let's start with the first of our 15 presentations today. Doug, thank you. one of the first examples of a bad sound.
I love the singing and I love the dancing. Because when you dance, you kind of exercise and you also have a lot of fun.
When I was younger, I was really shy and I felt awkward coming out to talk to adults and kids my own age. So I think it's really helped me as a young child come out of my shell to meet friends that on my own. And I feel now as a young adult that this has helped me like stick together with the family that I've created here and make me become a nicer kind of person altogether and make me want to work with friends.
I had to make friends.
Getting to meet new people and having new friends.
Because it always attracts like really amazing people.
I feel like there's such a different experience at KISS than at any other theater where we get to work with an ensemble cast and everybody just works together, as in like other theaters might not have people work together in those situations.
I love Kids Year Committee.
Oh, I like doing the songs because I really like singing.
But the staff are great. They help me out with everything, with my dancing, my singing, my acting, the auditioning, everything.
The staff helps out a nice amount and you learn a lot about friendship and everything like that.
Our staff is amazing.
It's just that they kind of relate to us. I mean, some of them are younger, some of them are younger, young adults, and some of them are older adults, and they can all like relate to our level. They were once children, like our age, and it's kind of just we don't have an adult that's kind of supposed to keep us in line. We kind of have like a best friend that's there just to like support us and help us get through the show.
Hey, I don't know what to say. Like the way that this is exactly what I do the best. They're good at explaining things, and I'm not like very good at processing some things, and they just really explain it really well.
Play games anytime.
They remind us things all the time so it can really stick and it works and then the show ends up being amazing. So the staff, they really help us like get through it and like know what we need to do, especially the director, because the director tells us what time it to come in, how everything works.
I guess learned to become a better communicator through KISS because we use a lot of verbalization in our shows and stuff like that.
I did branch out to who I want to be. Love your theater.
We are in Ensemble Cast! And we call ourselves KISS! And we say it from our diaphragm!
Thank you. Is Jessica Sudabab on with us? If you'd unmute yourself.
I am. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. That was very impressive. A lot of kids. We do have some questions. You obviously have a very diverse participation. How, in a normal year, how many kids would be participating with the KISS Theater?
Thank you for specifying a normal year. I really appreciate that. So on average, we do about 10 shows a year, and each cast has about 30 kids. So give or take, we have about 100 to 200 kids, depending on how many kids return. If we get a new rate, we get a lot of kids returning. So we have about honestly about 150 to 200 kids that we see a year. And that doesn't include our audiences as well when we do special programming for certain groups of kids in the in the Wilkes-Barre area.
Sure. Did notice that you had good representation of special needs young men and women. Is there sort of a percentage you might how many of the participants might be in the special needs spectrum, let it be autism, Down syndrome, or whatever?
That's I think his primary specialty. And I think as we get out there and people see that we can mainstream kids from various backgrounds, various abilities, that has grown tremendously in the year, over the course of the year. And most of the time people don't even realize. I would say probably 30 to 40% of our casts have kids with some varying intellectual or developmental disability.
Wonderful. Do you charge a fee for students to participate if they are able? And what
Yes.
percentage might be on scholarship or financial aid otherwise?
So we do charge a tuition for each workshop that they enroll in, and that kind of helps with our overhead costs of putting on the production. But we do have financial aid scholarships available for every age group. There is a scholarship committee that oversees that, and about 20% of our kids of each workshop receives that. We try to offer partial to full scholarships to everybody that applies.
Okay. And is there a sort of an average amount of scholarship that might be provided? $150, $200, whatever it may be.
We're kind of firm believers. If we have the money there, we'll give it out. So, we for each workshop. So we do try to put like a curve on it. And I believe our financial committee, we try not to give out more than I think $1,500 for a particular workshop.
In 25 words or less, could you explain how you hope to get restarted after this COVID slowdown?
Yes, we are fully embracing having an outdoor season. That's not just about our regular workshops, but incorporating community events just to open our doors and say it's safe, it's okay, and we're ready to be together again on safe basis.
Okay, excellent. Does anybody in the audience have any questions for Jessica? If not, we thank you very much, Jessica. We applaud what you're doing, and we look forward to further reports. We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Next.
Hi, Luzerne Foundation. My name is Allie McKittrick, and I'm the Executive Director of the Hazleton Art League, which is the area's only multifaceted resource for creative expression, artistic expression for artists and art lovers in the greater Hazleton area and beyond. In order to reach a broader population, we have recently moved into a newly renovated building by the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress. This has helped us to integrate ourselves deeper into the community by being in the very center of Hazleton. And now a word about our history from our co-president, Dr. Carl Frankel.
Thank you, Allie. The Hazleton Art League Incorporated is a nonprofit organization in 1949, and since that time we have been offering classes, cultural events, and gallery shows for the population. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our classes. They dedicated studios in a new building for all these different classes, state-of-the-art studios with state-of-the-art equipment, etc. We always try to offer our classes at the lowest possible price to be fair to our instructors, who are top-notch instructors, but to keep the cost to our students low. Our events are many and varied. We've had speakers, we have many poetry events, music events for small groups. We also have gallery shows every month, a very ambitious program of exhibiting art to the public, and my co-president, Kathy Bestwick, is going to tell you more about that.
Thank you, Carl. The Hazleton Art League's most expansive program is our monthly art exhibits that anchor the First Friday program. So our First Friday programs are educational, of course, but also social and very festive. The most important thing is they're free and open to the public. Because they're free and fun and engaging, we attract and serve a large number of our community. Because it's free, we need funding to plan, present, market, and host these monthly exhibits. You may be wondering what the community benefits are to an art exhibit. Well, art is the great integrator. Art integrates education. Every subject area can be related to art, so people can relate to it on many areas. Art is also the great cultural integrator. All can create art, all can appreciate art. So art easily crosses all ethnic barriers. Art and culture are also a terrific economic driver. So integration, intrinsic value, self-esteem, although these are major benefits of humanity, they're hard to measure, but not economic impact. The arts have proven to provide a vitality to every community. It brings businesses, it increases traffic on the streets, and of course, prosperity to all in our community.
Thank you, Kathy. So as you can see, everything we do is for the benefit of the community. Our classes educate people of all ages. Our gallery shows not only provide the opportunity for artists to showcase their work, but also to sell it. And our events give the community the opportunity to really experience arts and culture. It's a game changer. Luzerne Foundation, from all of us at the Hazleton Art League, thank you for your consideration, and thank you for supporting the arts.
And thank you for the wonderful presentation. Now do we have Kathy Bestwick online?
Yes.
Wonderful, Kathy. Thank you very much for that. We do have a couple of questions. Obviously, the Art League is providing an opportunity for cultural expression. How diverse is the participants in your program? And how many participants do you have in a typical year?
Well, we have many areas for people to participate in. So, and we also have, now I think the Hazleton community is 50% Latino, maybe even larger. So depending on the program, sometimes we have 50% of the participants from the Latino community. We're working very hard to make them a really integral part of our programming because they are such a large part of our community. So we have the education, we have the gallery, we have two really big community events, art community events, the Peace Love Chalk and the Arts Youth Expo. And we do have a majority of the participants in those programs are multicultural.
Do you have any 100% Spanish language programs that you present?
We have not had anything that is presented in Spanish, but we are working on that. All of our publications at this point are being printed and dispersed in both English and Spanish, and we do have some Spanish-speaking instructors now, so that we have the capability, if we have as only Spanish-speaking students, we have some instructors that can work directly with them in their native language.
Excellent. How many days per month is the facility open in normal times with events and exhibitions?
Well, we plan to be open 7 days a week because we have, staff that work in the building Monday through Friday, and then we have volunteers that gallery sit on both Saturday and Sunday in the afternoon so that people can come into the Art League, on their days off.
Is there any particular art style or program that is the most popular down there?
Well, the gallery shows are very popular because every show is totally different and brings in a different crowd of people. If it's a children's art show, right now we have the Arts and Humanities High School in Hazleton, the seniors are exhibiting. So there's lots of families that come in. When you have a more like a solo exhibit, sometimes people from the community that want to support that particular artist come in, but every show is totally different, and we really welcome all mediums. It's not just painting. We have sculpture, we have jewelry, we have stained glass studios in our building, ceramics. So we really try to make, within a calendar year, we really try to get a variety of mediums in the exhibits.
Okay, excellent. Yes.
How many full-time employees and how many volunteers?
How many full-time employees and how many volunteers do you have?
Well, 2.5 years ago, we hired our very first full-time executive director. And she is the only direct employee of the Hazleton Art League. We do have a paid bookkeeper, and we are bringing on a camp director. We had a pilot program last summer. Because of COVID, we could only do 2 weeks of summer camp, but we're planning 8 weeks of a full-time summer camp program. So we're bringing on an actual, it'll be a staff person, a staff person from the Dominican, Spanish speaking, and he's going to be our camp director. So that will be a second employee, but the bulk of the work of the Hazleton Art League is done with volunteers.
Very good. Any other questions from the audience? Well, Kathy, thank you very much, and thank you for all you're doing for the folks in Greater Hazleton, but also Northeastern Pennsylvania. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And next we have the Music Box.
The Music Box in a Playhouse is very important to me, and it's not just because I'm employed and have been for 32 years. It's been a passion. I mean, it's really great to be able to have a job, but also to have a job that you truly love.
To me, it means home. I've spent more hours here over the last 10 years than I have in my own house. And I've made some of my absolute best friends working here. And
I've met so many good people, and I really enjoy being here.
I actually met my wife here during my first play at the Music Box. We were doing Grease, and 2 years later I asked her to marry me on the very same stage.
I didn't even know until after the proposal and all the lights came up, and he had actually organized it so all of my best friends from high school, relatives that were really close to me, I would say about a third or more of the audience were people just to see the proposal.
We have written about 15 original plays for children and 2 main stage shows where we wrote the music and scripts ourselves. And I think we're one of the only theaters in the area that I know of that does that sort of thing on a regular basis. And we have programs for children and teens, teaching them all about theater.
We have workshops which we provide each year for children from the ages of 6 to, I believe, 18. So we're able to give them the opportunity to learn the basics in theater.
Working with these kids on these kids programs is absolutely wonderful. I just had the opportunity to work with a bunch of kids on Seussical the Musical Junior. I got a chance to play Horton the Elephant.
It's great being a kid here because this is actually like an adult theater, I think, and it's pretty fun being with like grown-ups and big shows like that. The adults treat me like their family, it's like this is like my second home to me. And
I wouldn't drive down here almost every day to just waste my time. I love it down here. It's great. It's my own little family.
The Music.
Thank you. And now do we have Gina Zanoli Morrison online?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Gina. Thank you very much. That was very, very impressive. We do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
How much staff do you have on the performing side of Music Box, and also the number of volunteers, the backstage, if you would?
Okay, that's hard to say. I have to say that there's a huge variety, of course, of the number of shows we do. I mean, we're completely shut down, as you know, at least from the outside to our audiences.
In a regular
But
year?
okay, let's say The Sound of Music was the one show we managed to do last year. We had 28 or 29 people in the cast, and backstage, well, maybe 10. And then we have, everyone is a volunteer there. We had at that time one part-time tech director who, of course, we had to lay off. And we have volunteer servers. We're a dinner theater, so our servers work without pay. They work for tips. We have some people that we pay a very small amount to work the bar and the kitchen. And then we have basically, we're run by volunteers. We're really a community theater with very, very few paid staff. Now, over COVID, we have, however, paid some contractors, because I think you might have seen our notices, and we have been very active doing fundraising since we can't have our patrons come back inside the theater. We've been fundraising to fix up the theater, and so we have just hired contractors. That's all. We're 100% volunteer at this point.
Sure, we understand. In a normal year, how many performances might you hold? And also, can you elaborate a little bit more on the programs for children and teens?
Yes, over the typical year, it would range about between 8 to 10 main stage productions, depending on the availability of people to do the various parts, and the directors and choreographers' availability. And we do give those leaders a small stipend. And then I would say 8 to 10 main stage a year, including maybe murder mystery or two. And we're very busy, constantly busy at a dinner theater. That's why it's so strange right now not to have anything going on. But as far as the children's workshops, we've had to stop those. They have been halted, and that's why we're coming to the Luzerne Foundation, because we want to regenerate those. We tried last year, but of course there was COVID, and as you might know, if you've ever been in the music box, it's a very small space, so we cannot socially distance in there. We're getting to the point where we're hoping by late July or August we would be able to hold these children's workshops, and maybe if we need to put up a tent or two outside to increase the space. And by then our stage, we built a completely new stage with the money we raised and the lighting system and everything. Hopefully the children will be the first one on that stage.
Very good, very good. Anything else that you might want to add?
Well, our children's workshops this time, we really felt it necessary to include a diversity component, more than just helping these young artists develop their theatrical and musical skills. We also want to have certain experts come in to help them raise awareness about cultural stereotypes in social media, in art, in music and theater. We had planned to do last summer, we had hoped to do Moana Jr. And I don't know if you know, Moana raised some critics from Native groups about negative cultural portrayals. So we wanted to be able to have some workshops for the children, and more than just acting, singing, backstage, construction and costuming, but also about how to be on the watch for negative stereotypes. We've created a diversity and outreach committee that we want to reach out to diverse populations, and we hope to use some of the funds to defray the cost of the workshop for those children who are financially disadvantaged.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for all you do, and good luck in a post-COVID environment. Thank you for your time and good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. And now we have the Northeast Pennsylvania Music Teachers Association.
Michelle Millington with Northeast Pennsylvania Music Teachers. I'm downtown Wilkes-Barre at the Innovation Center, also known as the Think Center.
Our organization has for years sponsored many kinds of programs such as workshops, seminars, even conventions. We have for 20 years sponsored the prestigious Carnegie Hall competition where students chosen perform at Carnegie Hall. And we also sponsor the Leva Piano Competition, as well as Dorothy Sutton Piano Festival, Music Festival, Holiday Recital, seminars and workshops where we bring in guest artists who are concert pianists, just to give an example of one type of piano workshop. So what we are proposing for this coming season, the 2021-2022 season, our Northeast PMTA would like to sponsor Luzerne County's Got Talent. We would open it up to musicians of all genres, piano, keyboard, voice, band instruments, strings, even dance. And we would have an adjudication judging process, and the winners would then perform at the Kirby Center for the Performing Arts right here in Wilkes-Barre. What better way to introduce the Think Center, the Innovation Center with our beautiful piano here than having something like a get to know music afternoon where people can come in and stay as long as they would like to and have themes to those afternoon recitals, such as learn about opera and feature an opera singer with a piano accompanist.
Good ending though, I like that.
Yeah.
Wait, no, don't do me again. I'm Michelle Millington with Northeast Pennsylvania Music Teachers. What the heck? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have Andrea Bugesco available?
Yes, I am. Morning.
Wonderful. Thank you, Andrea. That was very, very good.
Thank you.
How did the membership, I assume you have professional musicians that are teaching other musicians, but also you have members that are academic or in the high schools and colleges as well?
Predominantly, we have a group of 45 members who teach both in school and private music lessons. And all of our projects and programs that we sponsor would cater to college, high school, and actually students of all ages.
Okay. With your afternoon of music, those are weekend events, I assume?
Yes, we're projecting a Saturday afternoon.
You've not had those previously?
No, this would be a first time debut.
How much do you estimate the expense for each one of those events?
The expense would be anywhere from $400 through to about $550 per event. We were looking to do a monthly afternoon of music in downtown Wilkes-Barre. We would be highlighting the incredible, amazing talents that are right here in Northeast Pennsylvania. We have themes such as Irish fife and drum music, Eastern European folk music, fiddle or violin, which is it? We even have an afternoon of opera planned.
Good, good. And with the Luzerne County as talent, how many sessions do you plan for that?
We would divide our sessions into a judging process to hear all of the auditions.
What do you want?
And of course, the evening program at the Kirby Center would involve an entire evening of performances. We were even hoping that the audience could participate with being able to vote for their favorite contestants. And at the conclusion, cash awards and trophies would be presented to each of the categories and the winners of that Luzerne County's Got Talent.
And you have a projected budget for that of around $10,000, is that
That's correct?
Okay, very good. Yeah.
What different types of instruments are covered by the different people playing?
What variety of instruments are covered by your instruction?
We cover all instruments, instrumental, strings, vocal lessons, piano. So we cover all of these genres, actually.
Good. All right. Well, do we have any other questions from the audience?
Why is that kid?
Well, thank you very much, Andrea. We appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Thank you very much, too, for your consideration.
Thank you. Next, we have the FM Kirby Center.
Kid talks to Kirby.
Welcome to the FM Kirby Center for the Performing Arts in downtown Wilkes-Barre. The Kirby Center was built in 1938, and our history is as an Art Deco movie theater. In 1986, we became the Performing Arts Center that you know today. We have many different programs that we present at the Kirby Center. We do main stage shows as big as Ringo Starr and the band Heart. We have family series. We have a signature series where we present ballet, Shakespeare. We have concerts, comedies. We do shows in our lobby now. We host weddings. We host business meetings. We are a center here for our community. But one of our favorite series that's nearest and dearest to our hearts is our Young People's Theater series. Our Young People's Theater shows occur Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. in the morning. Each lasts about an hour. They're geared traditionally towards school groups to bessen their students, but we see many homeschoolers come in, many daytime programs, and sometimes a grandparent who just has a sick day for their grandchild. There's something magical that happens in the theater when we do these shows. No matter what your job is at the Kirby Center, you can't help but be enamored with these programs. For some children, it's their first time entering this beautiful building. For the teachers, it's a way to add to their curriculum. We have study guides that go with each one of the shows, many of which are based on existing books or other main stage shows may be brought down to an educational message for the students. Watching a full house of 1,800 children come into the theater on a morning during your Monday through Friday workday really makes us all feel like this is where we're supposed to be and this is what we're supposed to be doing. Our doors have been shuttered now for over a year. We're working with about half of our staff. We're unable to present programming on stage or in the theater. We've had to rethink our mission of bringing arts and entertainment to our community. In a typical year, that would be welcoming you into the building. This year, we're asking you to welcome us into your homes and for our Young People's Theater series into your classrooms. Our teachers and students have also been affected by this pandemic, as has everyone in the world. Some classrooms are doing in-person, some teachers are also being welcomed into your homes. We'd like to present this year a virtual Young People's Theater series. This would enable teachers to stream in the classroom or send the links home to their students. And as with any other year, we still would be welcoming homeschoolers, grandparents, and this opens us up to just families who would like to watch our shows at home. As with other years, we still have study guides and educational tie-ins. We hope that we can present this programming and in a way open us up even more than we were pre-pandemic. This would enable no wait lists. Everyone would be able to attend. There's no distance problems if you had trouble traveling to the Kirby Center. We're asking you to welcome us into your home and to help us support this crucial programming for our youth. Be safe, stay healthy, make art.
Thank you very much, Joelle. And do we have you online here?
You do. Good morning, Charles.
Ah, wonderful. Look a little different than in the theater there. Nice to see you.
Well, that was actually Ann Rodella. She's our artistic director.
Sorry.
That's
but,
okay.
You still want to hold the children's theater. Historically, you've been very sensitive to special needs children as participants in the audience. Do you plan to do the same thing with these 5 performances?
Even more so, actually. As you know, we do always welcome special needs students to these programs, and obviously all ages to all of our performances. But what's special about this is that this is reaching everyone. So if there are special needs children that perhaps study from home, now they can get this link and download it completely free of charge. And they'll also be able to download that study guide that goes along with the program. So the beauty and the silver lining of this program is that the reach is so much bigger than it's ever been when we actually do it live for our stage performances.
Do you also include a teacher in residence type equivalent with each of these programs? You had previously, I believe.
Are you referring to the study guide?
Yeah.
Yes, a study guide is still attached to each show. So what's happening is the teachers, if they have the classroom full of children or if they are virtual, can just download it and share it with their students to incorporate that into their daily curriculum.
Excellent. And you have a budget for this of $19,000 at this point?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions from the audience?
I have a question.
Yes.
Because there's many special needs students involved, is there like trained staff and people that are well trained to be able to handle it, the children can really benefit from being there? Or is the training like for the staff?
I suppose this question goes for a more normal time, but when you do have the special needs children in attendance, do you have specialized staff, or do the students come with teachers or aides that help them during the presentation?
The students do come with their teachers and or aides or parents or whomever it is that they would want there with them. But we do have not only our staff there, but we also have volunteer ushers that are there to accommodate them, show them exactly where, if by chance they're in a wheelchair, we give them that special area to have their wheelchair if they want to just leave it in the back and actually sit in a seat, or if they need to stay in their wheelchair the whole time. So we are definitely there to accommodate their situation, but we allow them to bring in their aide or anyone that they need or want to be with them.
Great, thank you. Well, I've had the honor and pleasure of participating in a number of the shows examples you showed. You do an excellent job. Good luck to you, and you'll be hearing from us. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Charles, and thanks so much for pivoting and making this a virtual program. We appreciate the support.
Luzerne Foundation's honored for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we're going to start the education portion. The first one is the YMCA.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Landis, a YMCA staff member, and I'm standing in front of the Wilkes-Barre Family YMCA, part of the Greater Wyoming Valley Area YMCA. The Greater Wyoming Valley Area YMCA includes Pittston YMCA, Wilkes-Barre YMCA, and Camp Kresge sites. We'll go inside and I can talk about the Power Scholars Academy, the program we are hoping the Luzerne Foundation will help us support this year. Power Scholars Academy is a summer learning program targeted at students in low-income school districts that combines morning reading and math with fun afternoon enrichment. We're hoping to serve 432 students in Wilkes-Barre area, Hanover area, and the rest of the valley at Bear Creek Community Charter School. This program is perfectly designed to help kids reverse the learning loss they experienced this year because of COVID.
The moments that really excite me is when I come in and I see the scholars yell my name, "Hey, Miss Mary." Just to see their faces light up is really what I went into education for. Power Scholars Academy is a partnership between the nonprofit Bell and the National Y of the USA. They saw a need for summer learning loss prevention, and they decided to make this program. We do a 6-week program because research shows students often lose about 2 to 3 months of information throughout the summer. So from 9 to about 12 o'clock, they work on reading and math skills. And then in the afternoon, we move on to all the fun stuff like STEM and science and music, Spanish, art, physical fitness. We were actually one of the first Ys in this area to bring this program to this area.
Mary and I have traveled to different places, talked to people in the Philly area and Georgia and North Carolina, different states. They all have the program we have. However, we're the only ones in this part of northeastern PA. And it's different because it's not a summer school. A lot of people think that it is because it has the academics part of it. It goes beyond just they're doing well in their academic area. It just gives kids a lot of self-confidence to become their own person.
Because of our area and our need for this area, a lot of our scholars do not have the opportunities, even classroom materials, books, experiences. We've taken our kids to Knoebels together with the family. Some scholars never even were at an amusement park or never even seen or rode a ride. That's what makes this program different than your after-school care program. This program is 100% free to all our families that it services. Every year that gets harder and harder.
We need a small army to actually get this moving every year. We need the support for the meals, we need the support for the site, we need the support for the materials, to establish teachers and assistant teachers to come work with us. In general, it costs at least $1,000 per student.
If we didn't have the funding for this, the kids around here wouldn't have anything to do in the summer. The academic side of it, they wouldn't be able to retain the information in order for them to excel in school in the fall. So if we didn't have any funding for this, really we couldn't have this program at all. So we need funders who want to help kids, want to see kids' futures bright, and want to just benefit children.
Thank you very much. Do we have Michelle online? Michelle, unmute yourself. You there? Hello?
Chair, they can't see you, so
Hello?
you have another half hour before Candy's place.
Do we have Michelle online?
Guess not, she's burning her 2 minutes.
Michelle? Can you unmute? Hello? Michelle, can you hear? Well, we do have an observation, certainly that the Bill Jones saying the United Way applauds Power Scholars program. And if you could hold up a hand, how many days a week are the programs presented? 5? And there were, you say it's $1,000 a student with 432 students participating over the course of the summer. Obviously a very important program to maintain continuity of education so that we don't have the fallback or decline.
Charles, can you hear
There you-
me?
Now I can, yes. Good.
My
Good.
Zoom cut out just at the moment that that Mary was talking.
Well, welcome back. How many days a week is the Power Scholars program? 5?
It's a 4-day-a-week program, Monday through Thursday, and then traditionally we did field trips on Fridays.
Okay.
So last year we were in person in spite of COVID, but we cut out the field trips. This year we're adding in 2 field trips.
Okay. And how long does this run over the course of the summer? How many weeks?
It's a 6-week program, a 6-week full-day program with breakfast, lunch, morning academics, and afternoon enrichment. And this year, because of the way it's structured, we have this implementation at Bear Creek, which is open to all the school districts in the Valley. So Hanover area, Wilkes-Barre area have their own sites, but everybody else can go to Bear Creek.
Okay, excellent. You say that it's about $1,000 per student. So with 432 students, may we assume it's about a $432,000 project for the summer? Or is it?
Approximately. We do have a fair amount of funding. We have one large national funder who has committed $100,000 to the project. And the school districts commit as well. Bear Creek committed $25,000 to their own site, as well as providing the entire site and the food service.
All right, because your application saying you're requesting, or the program expense that you note on here is about $22,240.
Right, for one classroom.
Okay.
We weren't looking at asking y'all to support, the entire program, but basically about a quarter of a classroom.
Okay, excellent. And this does include meals and whatnot. Are you still collaborating with CEO for that feeding program, or is that something separate from the
That's something separate. We're collaborating with the school districts themselves, who are going to provide food through the summer food service program.
Okay, very good.
We'll go with those for now, and hopefully, I think
Sounds like you've got a good program, and obviously important to maintain the continuity for our students. We feel that a lot of them are falling behind during this COVID period and Zooming. So thank you for what you're doing here. Are there any other questions from the audience? Remember to type your question in the chat box at the bottom of your screen, your Zoom screen. Well, hearing none, thank you very much, Michelle, and thank you for all you're doing, you and the Ys are doing for the youth of our community.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
A generational catastrophe. That is how the Secretary General of the United Nations is describing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on school-aged children. Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Jones from the United Way of Wyoming Valley. At the United Way, we are very focused on the issues of childhood poverty. As such, we are truly concerned about the pandemic's effect on low-income, at-risk kids. The effects of COVID-19 on these children has been devastating and far-reaching. Based on national studies, most children are 3 to 12 months behind where they should be due to reduced instruction time, access to technology, lack of support, and other factors. Most experts are predicting a rise in high school dropout rates, and McKinsey & Company suggested the negative effects of what's happening academically could last an entire lifetime. The United Way has been meeting with our local school districts, and they have asked us to repeat a valuable project we initiated after the schools were abruptly closed down last year. Last June, we partnered with Highlights Magazine to distribute a summer learning workbook to children in grades kindergarten through 2nd grade in an effort to reduce the summer slide. The purpose of the workbook project is to provide students from school districts that have a higher percentage of low-income students a quality academic workbook so they could have a fun, friendly, grade-appropriate educational tool to use over the summer months. It was extremely well received. Here's what a teacher, a parent, and a student had to say about last year's workbook initiative.
Hi, my name is Dion Fisher, and I'm a second grade teacher at Kistler Elementary. We want to take a moment and express our concerns for our students and their needs. Our students have been suffering due to the COVID-19 crisis in so many ways, both financially, socially, emotionally, and of course, academically. And that's the point that I really need to stress here. We greatly appreciate everything that the United Way has done for us, especially the fact that they provided our students with summer workbooks, that essential tool that they need to prevent the summer slide that so many of our students go through. It's essential that the parents have a tool that they can work with their own students with, hands-on, such as the booklet that they provided last year. So we just wanted to take a moment, thank the United Way for those booklets and their support in everything they do for us here at Kistler Elementary.
COVID-19 has definitely had an impact on my children. Like I said, my daughter is in first grade, and I was really concerned about her reading skills and staying on level. You know, we did try to read a lot of books and complete all the assignments received by the teachers, and it seemed to be okay. But I was still looking for more resources, especially for the summer months. Last summer, my children received the Highlight Educational Workbooks from United Way to help them practice and keep up their reading and writing skills. It was a big relief when we got these highlight books, and I'm very grateful for United Way for caring about the education of my children and the young students at Valley West School District.
The Highlight Summer Reading Book made me a lot smarter, and it helped me with my reading, writing, and math. It's a very good book.
The hope is students like Casey will be better prepared to enter the next grade next fall and ultimately stay on track to be reading proficiently by the end of third grade, a key indicator for academic success and high school graduation. This year, we are expecting to provide workbooks to nearly 4,000 students at a cost of roughly $24,000. And we are seeking your assistance. Thank you for your consideration in doing what you could do to help at-risk kids here in the Wyoming Valley.
Thank you, Bill. Are you on?
Yes, I am here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, if I do my math correctly, you want to provide assistance to 4,000 students, and it costs $24,000. So we're looking at $600 per student. Is that about right?
$6 per student.
$6. Oh gosh, right.
It's
You're
new
right.
math.
$6. Beautiful, beautiful. You're asking for $7,000. So that would be about 1,200 kids.
Yes, 7,000 times 6 would be
How many? 42,000.
Yeah, 420.
Right. Okay. How long does the program last, Bill? It wasn't right clear.
So this year we're going to be using what will happen this year as opposed to last year. We're going to be using the Scholastic books versus the highlights. Scholastic came in. It's a good quality book if you're familiar with the Scholastic company, and they have over a 10-week. It's suggested to do over a 10-week period all during the summer. And if parents are able to work with these kids, we are targeting kindergarten, first grade, second grade students in 6 school districts. So those 4,000 kids are more prepared for next year. Our hope is because third grade reading levels are still the key indicator for academic success and graduation rates. That's why these foundational years are so important, and COVID has really impacted the foundation for many of these low-income kids. So that's why we're targeting these 6 schools, and all the kindergarten, first grade, second grade kids in all of those schools.
Are the teachers in those schools participating over the course of the summer, or is this going to be a United Way staff?
No,
program?
it is a book that gets, the workbook is sent home. Last year, we mailed all of these books to all of these kids. Mailing, of course, is an expensive cost. This year, we expect the schools to be, continue to remain in session and in person. And the school districts we're getting the books to the schools. The teachers are going to be distributing the books to their classrooms. There's a note that's going home with every book to every parent, and we're hoping that the parent will engage with the student over the course of the summer, come back with a signed form that that they've completed the book, and when that happens, every kid will be treated to an ice cream treat.
Is there any assistance available during the summer months if a parent does have some problems?
Yes. Yep. They can call the United Way. That's part of the instructions on the letter that's going. If they have an issue, call the United Way, and we'll be able to work with the school to help address whatever issue that child might have.
All right. And you mentioned 3 different class groups: kindergarten, first, second grade, basically about equal numbers in each of those grades.
For the most part, Lauren asked the question: are those 4,000 school-age kids, any of them preschoolers? No, we're doing something different for preschool. We're getting preschoolers, a different set of summer activities, and we've been doing that for years. The summer learning workbooks is really geared towards school age, and we started that last year because of COVID. We want to continue. And if I can impress upon anybody who's listening, the effects of COVID on school-age children and the fact that school-age children are 3 to 12 months behind, it is a real issue for these kids. And we have to do as a community all that we can do to keep kids on track, to help them, not only read, at 3rd grade level, on time, but more importantly, graduate on time. And it's just a huge issue. I think with COVID, we will get over we will deal with the health issues, we'll deal with the economic issues. These education issues are going to last a long time, and all school districts are concerned. Last year, they were calling it the COVID slide. This year, they're calling it the COVID avalanche. And all that we can do as a community to help these kids is important. And those kids that have the least amount of resources are the kids that need the most help.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Bill, and thank all you and the United Way does to help the youth of our community. Greatly appreciate your time and commitment here today and forever.
Awesome. Thanks for the consideration.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have the Hazleton Integration Project.
Hi, my name is Bob Curry, and I'm the founding president of the Hazleton Integration Project. Now, normally, a lot of you already understand what we do, and that is we offer programming for underserved children in 3 different areas. One is education, one is athletic, and the 3rd is cultural. But last year with the pandemic, that brought some real challenges to us, and we understand every other organization as well. So we turned our attention to what we felt was the biggest need in our community, which was food. And so we started a distribution network, and according to the Weinberg Foundation, we ended up giving over 600,000 meals to the neediest citizens of Hazleton last year. Concurrently, we understood when the school district said that all the children would be doing nothing but remote learning, we knew a lot of our kids just didn't have access to computers or internet at home. So we brought them into our center. We have a nice big building. We were able to do it with masks and social distancing, and we have up to 60 children every day who come to our center. We feed them all, and they get access to their lessons every single day. You're going to see some of those children as we walk through our building. So I'd like you to meet the executive director of the Hazleton Integration Project. This is Ms. Rosanna Gabriel, and Rosanna has been with us very nearly from our first day. So Rosanna, why don't you tell us a little bit about what a day looks like and some of the events that are coming up here at HIP?
Here, everybody know we need to change our activity, regular activity, but instead we change to do things that the people need right now. For example, we have virtual tutoring for our children. That happens every Wednesday here in STEM lab with Penn State University helping them every Thursday. At the same time, I can tell you that our teenagers, high school students, they were participating in a class with Economic Opportunity Center. They receive orientation in order to know what to do when they want to go to college and orientation to choose the careers that they need.
Well, obviously, Rosanna, your days are very busy here. We're all aware of that, and we thank you. You do an absolutely wonderful job. So now we're going to move along and talk with someone So now we're going to go into one of our other classrooms that has younger children. So here we are, and these are the youngest children that attend our classroom. They come every day, and they access their lessons online. And as you can see, everybody is very conscious of social distancing, and everybody wears their masks, and we're a happy group right in here. Hi, this is Karen Barrios. Karen is our educational coordinator at the Hazelton Integration Project. So tell us what you're doing here today.
So all of our kids come here because either they don't have internet or they don't have a laptop. So we provide services for them. We just make sure that they are connected, that they do their homework, everything, all classes, science, math, all of them.
Very good.
Every day, yes.
Thank you, Karen. So
You're
they
so
come
welcome,
every
sir.
single day.
Yes.
Yes. So this year is a very different year for us, and that's what I'm asking you today. This is the most important summer in many of these children's lives, and the reason I think we all know is the pandemic has shattered every sense of norm and normalcy in these kids' lives. And we're going to try and rebuild that. We are scheduled to have 100 children in our building for summer camp this year. And we are hoping that we're able to provide them a little more structure so that when fall begins and regular school begins again, they are more ready and less likely to experience that brain drain. And that's what we are asking you today. Help us help those children. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we love the Luzerne Foundation. Hi, my name is...
Thank you, Bob. Are you on with us?
I'm on.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to see what you do down there.
Thanks so much, Charles.
You mentioned early on that you had 60 kids per day coming in. Now, are there a different 60 kids each day during the week, or is it the same 60 kids that carry on through the entire week?
These are generally the same 60 kids. This is a kind of shifting narrative also because of the fact that the school district has now gone back to in-person classes. But since last September, we started out with 15 computers. I sort of frantically went around trying to get some used computers, and actually you guys were very helpful in that effort. We were able to get 15 additional computers through your efforts, and then we ended up doubling. We went from 15 to 30 and 30 to 60. So as recently as last month, we had 60 children coming in from grades 3 through grades 12 every single day. And because of that, they were able to sustain contact with the district and with their teachers every day. And of course, we fed them every day, and we were able to do it in a way that was, we thought, socially responsible and safe.
Good. During the course of the summer, do the teachers at Hazelton area continue to participate, or is it predominantly HIP staff that are
the summer program is predominantly HIP staff, but it's an expansive staff, because what we do is we work now with a PhD from Lock Haven University, who has written a curriculum for the program, and it's a really STEM-based, multifaceted curriculum that each week each day of the week, we work with a specific theme. So it's really a comprehensive. We also have Penn State University coming in from the main campus, their English language learning department, to do STEM initiatives right through our classrooms. And now we are also working with Bloomsburg University to do additional tutoring for some of our older kids too.
Excellent.
Charles, what is the age range of the students?
What is the age range? You mentioned that they range between grades 3 to 12. So is
that is not the case in the summer program. The summer program, we're looking at a younger age group. We're looking at grades 3 through grade 6, or grade 1 through grade 6. I'm sorry. Okay. 1 through 6. These are the kids that we feel have really suffered, because a lot of these children, even despite our own efforts, were unable to hook onto the internet. And so they have lost so much that we're all talking about the pandemic brain drain. And we just want to bring those kids in because it's so critically important that these kids from underserved neighborhoods and these kids that just didn't have the same opportunities are able to come back and relive some kind of structure and put some kind of ability back into their lives to start to feel a little sense of normalcy.
Great. What is the current source of your funding for the program, and where are your deficiencies?
Oh, we self-fund just the deficiencies. We self-fund pretty much every program that we have. As you know, we do large events, and we're able to bring in money that way. But this program this year, we believe that we're putting $5,000 into the program as a base, and we're looking to get an additional $10,000, which would be net zero. We do feel that we do so much with so little, because so much of the effort comes from volunteers as well. So we don't have an enormous staff that we're paying. We donate our building, we donate the food. And so with all of that, we have these 100 children that for 5 weeks during the summer are going to have a completely different experience than if those children are at home. And that's what we're looking to fund.
Great. Well, you do a wonderful job down there, and we applaud your efforts, and glad to hear computers are still working for you.
They are.
Thank you, Bob. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Yep. You'll be hearing from us. And last but not least for education is the McGlynn Learning Center.
Welcome to the McGlynn Center. My name is Peggy Nork. I'm the Executive Director. The McGlynn Learning Center is a safe and welcoming environment for children and youth residing in the family developments of the Wilkes-Barre Housing Authority at Boulevard Townhomes in Mineral Springs Village. We provide a year-round program focusing on educational, recreational, and social outreach services on a consistent and ongoing basis in their respective neighborhoods. The center is open during hours known to be the times when children are most vulnerable to engage in risky or inappropriate behaviors. Each year, about 150 children attend the McGlynn Center. More than 90% of those attending are promoted to a higher grade at the end of the school year. Our strongest datum supporting the need of our program is that since our doors opened in 1988, not a single child or teen attending the McGlynn Center has been involved with the juvenile justice system. Each day throughout the school year, our staff and volunteers help the children in the after-school program, which includes tutoring, homework assistance, reading, math, English as a second language, computer skills, and weekly life skills training and teen program. During the summer months, our program includes daily reading, language arts, and math classes, computer skills, nutritional education, art and community projects, daily recreational activities such as swimming, bowling, and skating. Both programs include educational and recreational trips for the children and their families throughout the year. We also provide a daily snack and breakfast or lunch as needed throughout our summer program. This past year, we have had to alter how we offer our programs to children and families due to the national pandemic. We had to replace field trips with activities, in-person tutoring with virtual tutoring, and provide more staple food products, paper products, and cleaning supplies more than ever before. We all have been forced into a new normal, which has taught us to be patient and understanding. Parents everywhere had to figure out how to help their children with virtual education. Children being home all day also required parents to have more food and paper products in the home, among other struggles. Living in poverty, you're already facing issues with being able to provide everything needed for your family. Now you are stretching the same or less money over a larger need. Our children have struggled greatly this past year, losing the educational support in-school learning offers, the socialization, and the feeling of being safe. Although we tried to continue to support our children as best as we can see what the impact of the pandemic has done and the emotional toll it has left. We have not been able to take our children on educational and recreational field trips for over a year. These trips help the children both socially and educationally. We do hope that if we receive grant funding, we can utilize the monies to schedule activities in place of field trips that will help the children physically, emotionally, and academically. This summer, we are planning to enhance mind, body, and spirit for our children by offering activities like yoga, karate, Zumba, nutritional education, music, theater, and art. We hope to bring professionals in from throughout our community to help the McGlynn offer the children something a little different.
Thank you, Peggy. Okay, are you online with us?
I am.
Wonderful. The McGlynn Center has always done a great job with your students, and we've been honored to participate with you for all these many years. Do the parents of these children get actively involved, or does the McGlynn Center work with the parents so that there's a continuity at home as well? Or is it purely at the McGlynn Center?
It's kind of a mix, Charles. During the school year, we have to, especially within this last year, work very closely with our parents. Some of our children have fallen significantly behind. So we've been doing a lot of one-on-one tutoring and assistance throughout this past school year to help the children kind of stay at a baseline at least. That baseline is not where they need to be, but it's at least a starting point of where they're not continuing to fall behind. During the summer program, our parents really rely on the children, coming here for a couple different reasons. It helps them get some other things done because the children aren't in the house. And last summer, even during the pandemic, we were open and we weren't sure how many kids were coming, and a lot of children did come, so much that we had to kind of alter the schedule of how we offered the program.
Yeah, I know you have a full facility there on an ongoing basis. How has the pandemic impacted your volunteers?
Well, that's it has significantly. The majority of our volunteers are of an age where they're retired and or have health issues. So I would say that more than half of them have decided not to come back at this point until they know it's safe for their own health. But the ones that have come, and we've had enough that we can continue to offer our program, they have all, done everything we asked as far as the protocol of, wearing their masks and hand sanitizing and the social distancing. And they've been great, and we're very lucky. A lot of the ones that aren't able to be in the building are also doing virtual tutoring, which keeps them engaged. We haven't lost anybody completely because of the pandemic. It's just how they're helping us is in a different format.
So you're planning on providing activities there in the McGlynn Center area, maybe with trips over to Kirby Park, if I saw your pictures correctly. None of the bigger trips that you had done in the past.
That is correct.
Are you planning on providing a stipend to the leaders of those activities, or are you relying on volunteers for those?
No, we're going to have to pay for services. We were able to get some funding last year unexpectedly. So we had somebody from karate come in, and then we had somebody from the YMCA to do Zumba on both of our properties. And that was kind of a test to see if the kids would be engaged. And as you saw in some of those pictures, the children absolutely loved it. What we'd like to do is expand that. That was only 2 days a week last year. We'd like to have some kind of activity every afternoon to get the kids physically moving, whether it's doing karate and Zumba or doing an art project, or maybe, learn a little bit about music. We thought about introducing some theater this year. We're just, we really need the children moving both in mind and in body.
Sure. Remind us again, the age group, the predominant age groups that you work with.
We have first grade through 12th grade. Most of our children, I'm thinking like 76 to 80 of them are grade schoolers. We do have about 12 high schoolers, and they do stay active throughout. Now I have 2 seniors this year, so I'm not sure if they'll be coming back in the summer, but they do stay active. And a lot of our seniors, not only will they help with their portion of the program with something geared just for them, but they also volunteer to help with the little kids. So they do some peer-to-peer mentoring, which helps them with their community service hours they need in the community as well.
Very good. And Bill's our biggest supporter. McGlynn Center rocks. It is a key facility, service to those kids and families. So
thank you, Bill. Thank you.
And thank you, Peggy, for all you do for the kids in our community.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Luzerne Foundation.
Yep. Now moving on to health and wellness.
Welcome everyone to Candy's Place Cancer and Wellness Center. Come on inside, take a look. We'll tell you a little bit more about us. As you can see, we are following various protocols for COVID still. We're doing everything we can in our power to keep our center safe for everyone who enters in. I want to stop here for a minute and introduce you to our namesake. Some of you may or may not know Candy Vincent Mamery. Candy was a social worker, beloved family member, friend, active in her community, and was diagnosed with end-stage lung cancer in her 40s. And she was non-smoker, very fitness focused. And her sister Penny founded Candy's Place in honor of Candy in 1998. And so we carry on that legacy and do our best to honor Candy's wishes. She did not want her cancer diagnosis to be the be-all and end-all of her life imprint. I just want to make a special note, because it's not always known in the community, that our services are available to anyone 18 years of age and older. So often we are found to be told that, we're only for women or only for women with breast cancer. So I really want to get the message out there. 18 years of age and older, any cancer diagnosis, any gender. Our services are free during the time of treatment and for 1 year thereafter to help support recovery. And we also offer our services that we'll talk about to the caregivers as well, because they're going through the journey just as much in a different way, but still impacted as their loved one is. We call this our healing art hallway. We offer massages, reflexology, Reiki, vibrational sound therapy, décolleté treatment, and we have our boutique and haberdashery. Again, all of these varied services are free to our clients. But today I want to take some time and focus in the gym. This is where our request is going to land today. Basically, we offer yoga and fitness services to our clients one-on-one so that the service can be customized to their individual needs. You can see the various forms of equipment that are available that are safe to ensure their use, to offer maximum abilities for balance and fitness, and our providers have the ability to utilize all that's available in the gym.
Hello, my name is Brittany and I am a yoga teacher here at Candy's Place.
and I do one-on-one yoga with our clients here. We do a lot of breath work, we do a lot of meditation, and it really allows the clients to facilitate their own healing through breath and moving their bodies, along with many other benefits such as better posture, better sleeping, stress relief. It's even great for depression and overall wellness, allowing you to feel better while you're going through something that can be challenging and hard. We need yoga.
My name's Chris Fazai, and I'm a personal trainer here at Candy's Place. So I work with people here that are in treatment, and I also work with people after treatment. While in treatment, we try to work on helping with their stamina and some of their side effects, you know, their nausea, their lymphedema, trying to keep them from getting lymphedema, their neuropathy, things like that. Just getting out of the house and having somewhere to go that is for them and beneficial to help them, not just physically, but also mentally during this terrible time. We move on then when they come to us when they are out of treatment, and when this time we work with their strength, stability, range of motion, things that have been lost with all of the treatment. And so with each person it's different. You know, we work with individuals so that we can develop the plan for them, and it's beneficial to help them get closer to where they were before and maybe just their new norm. And this is so important for all of the people that we work with here at Candy's Place.
Providing funding for the one-on-one training programs that you just saw and heard about helps us continue providing much needed strength, balance, and overall well-being benefits to our clients. We truly believe and have found it takes a community to support community agencies like ours. We're grateful to have this opportunity to present our needs and to share a bit about who we are and what we do for our families, friends, and neighbors in Northeast PA. Thank you so much for your time and for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Do we have Lisa Orlandini?
Yes, hi. How are you, Charles?
Good, thank you. Thank you for joining us here today. Do have a
Thank
couple
you.
of questions. What is the breakdown between the staff and volunteers there at Candy's Place?
So the providers that you saw that are offering the yoga and the fitness are actually independent contractors. They do volunteer a slot each week. So there is a combination package there, but we do pay our providers for their services. A lot of our volunteerism is through the administrative side, the receptionist area, our fundraising, you know, various other projects, especially with COVID, we've added some extra, you know, temperature screening and things like that. So, and sanitizing. So a lot more volunteer support in that area. And then there are a couple of areas where we do have strictly volunteers that provide, say, like the décolleté treatment and things. But the ones that you saw today, the fitness and yoga, they're independent contractors.
What is the typical components of your revenue? Grants, contributions, that, you know, do you charge for any of your programs?
We do not. Right now, everything that we provide at the center is free to our clients and caregivers. So they are not putting out any money of their own at this time. Predominantly, our fundraising efforts, the annual walk has been our core mainstay. We're looking at ways to enhance that. We're actually in the process of going to be working on a strategic plan. We've interviewed and have selected a candidate for our process. And so we're doing our virtual walk again this May. We've launched that. We are also now looking to anchor an annual appeal process and tying that in with the NEPA Gives initiative. And we have several fundraising efforts that we do on our own effort. And then we have some collaboratives, Pink and Blue Golf tournament. So there's other community sponsored events for us that help support us. We are very much funded by the community. We also do get a lot of memorial donations. We do see a lot of folks that select us, and their families and friends do contribute a lot in supporting of their loved ones. And then of course, grants and organizations like the Luzerne Foundation. We certainly have received funds from your foundation. So we're grateful for that.
Excellent. Yes.
How many people at any given moment are actually in at Candy's Place being helped?
On average, how many people are participating in Candy's Place at any one moment?
At any one moment, I don't know that I can pinpoint down to an average in any one moment. I can say that for the first quarter this year, I did check into that. We had 169 appointments for the one-on-one fitness and one-on-one yoga. And actually, we had a little bit of a transition because our primary yoga instructor took 2 months for travel time. So I had to transition and bring somebody new in. So our number was a little bit lower than probably the norm. And then we had 31 new clients that came in the first quarter as well. So we're seeing, and with COVID, I'm hearing the thread from the other wonderful organizations that have already shared, our clients are coming in and expressing to us the benefit that we're offering them, because we are very much mindful of the COVID guidelines, and we're very much implementing a lot of protocols, probably a little bit more strict, some would say, and they feel safe. And, we are seeing a lot more coming directly from their diagnosis at the doctor's office, a lot more emotion. Many are still trying to work and juggle a new cancer diagnosis and deal with this pandemic. So a lot more holistic approach. I've sat with a lot more individuals probably in the past several months, and I'm, in Candy's place now just over 2 years myself, just to sit and listen and to be a helping support. So those are some numbers there. So hopefully that'll help.
Thank you very much, and thank you for all you're doing for your clients and for those experiencing the cancer diagnosis.
Thank you. I appreciate this time. Thanks, Charles, and good luck to you on your new life adventure too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you all. Good luck to everybody.
Next, we have the Freeland Y.
Welcome to the Freeland YMCA. For 122 years, the Freeland YMCA has been focused on strengthening our community and developing healthy, confident children while making sure our services are accessible to community members. I'm Rose Fox, the Freeland YMCA CEO. Our service area, we essentially cover 280 square miles of the Hazleton Area School District and beyond. When looking for our grant opportunities, first and foremost, our efforts are to provide scholarships. We want to see no child turned away from participation because of the lack of affordability to their family.
Jim.
So this area has been hit pretty hard between the pandemic and the job loss of many companies downsizing. When you look at the economic need for the school district, as our population has become more diverse, so has our out need. So looking at the 2021 data, there are roughly about 2,300 English language learners in the local school district. So just in the Freeland Elementary Middle School, there are about 480 students across the grade levels qualifying at a low income. To meet the needs of all these other children, the Y must expand programs and expand our options for scholarships. And Chris will be able to tell you more about our programs.
Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm a board member here at the Freeland YMCA. Our programs here are not just limited to our building here in Freeland. We took over the sponsorship and administration of a local swim team. We use the park right next door, and we utilize MMI soccer fields nearby. Our gymnasium behind me is usually bustling with lots of activity. When fully functioning, the scheduling is for boys and girls basketball games, tournaments, and adult basketball. Our plans for this upcoming summer include different basketball leagues, camps, and different soccer leagues. Check out our early childhood learning room. The daily program is headed by a teacher and an aide and can hold up to 10 children. I'm going to pass it off now to Ben, and he'll tell you more about our facility.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, my name is Ben. I'm the board president here at the Freeland YMCA, local community member, and local school teacher. Our downstairs has fitness rooms and a weight room. These rooms have been used heavily during the pandemic by our adult members. We have held fundraisers throughout the year to support our operations. Community members spearhead a night of music for the Y. Our annual golf tournament will be held at the end of this summer. We sponsor a 5K run walk through the streets of Freeland. Runners come from all over the area. Some of our other small fundraisers include lottery tenders, hanging baskets, and mom and flower sales. This YMCA is the center of our small community here in Freeland. If there is ever an emergency at the local Freeland Elementary Middle School, we are the evacuation center. We have also opened our doors to local families who have lost their homes due to fires or other emergencies. We have partnered with CARE's Hazelton Day program and the Bureau of Aging recently. We would love to partner with you as well. At this time, I'm going to pass it back to Rose for some closing remarks.
Thank you, Ben. Without your support, 40% of our youth members would not have access to the activities which help them achieve success as adults. The activities offered at the Freeland YMCA help combat bullying, isolation, and childhood obesity. With your help, the Freeland YMCA can make a difference in the life of a child now, while investing in our community for the future. Please help us with our scholarship fund.
Thank you. Rose, are you ready?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
Hi there. Thank you. That was very good. How many kids were you envisioning support through scholarships? What is the cost per kids, and how many kids were you hoping?
Okay. Currently, the cost for a child would be $100 a year. We do have monthly fees of $100, but I base it on a yearly scholarship fund. I'm hoping that our programs will increase from previous years. That will probably be helping sponsoring about 70 students, 70 children.
Okay. All right. And how is your enrollment or membership held up over the pandemic?
Well, it is slowly coming back with our adults and senior population. Our youth, we're planning, right now we've halted a little bit with our youth. We've started basketball clinics and we've had good response. We're focusing more on the summer. Our students in our Hazelton Area School District just went back to school last week. So yeah, we're focusing on the summer with basketball and soccer, and that will be outdoors.
Okay. Are you drawing any students, any youth from, more conventional downtown Hazelton now that YWCA is closed? Are you seeing, new people coming in from a broader area?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We have a big turnout from the Drums and the Valley area, and reaching out into the Hazel Township. We've had a 30% increase in memberships just from our outlying areas, well, outside of the Freeland area, which we do cover. It's about 280 square miles. So yes, we are getting tremendous amount of students. Now, typically in the past, we would, and I continue to do this, it's just the kids who aren't in school, I hand out flyers within the school, but since they just went back, promoting our programs.
Very good, very good. Any other questions from the audience, please? Well, hearing none, Rose, thank you very much. Thank you for all you do for the community down there in the greater Hazelton area in Freeland.
Oh, thank you very much for this opportunity. Have a great day.
Yep. Next is Think Big.
Think Big was founded to have the primary purpose of financially supporting pediatric cancer patients and their families. Think Big's name came from a young gentleman by the name of Carmine Monticelli that I took care of during my residency training. The name Think Big came from Carmine's attitude. He was always telling us what he wanted to be when he grew up. And one day he would say he'd want to be a marine biologist. The next day he'd say he'd be a WWF wrestler. He also wanted to be the first American Pope. So we always said Carmine was thinking big, and that was how we came up with the name of our organization. Carmine was diagnosed with a form of bone cancer, and I had the privilege of caring for him in and out on a regular basis when he was first diagnosed.
Carmine's story started when he was 9 years old. He had been complaining about a pulled muscle in his leg, and Carmine had an x-ray. Next thing I know, doctor comes out. He said, let's go for an MRI. And we were already on the road down to Geisinger Medical Center to the Children's Hospital. That's where the doctor initially told me that he definitely has osteosarcoma and he's dying.
After the first round of chemo, they realized that it had gone to his lungs
gone to his spine.
We got hospice in the house, and within 6 days, he was gone.
When a family hears that their child is diagnosed with cancer, treatments, chemotherapy, they're thinking about all the medical aspects. They're probably not at that time thinking about the financial difficulties that are most likely going to ensue. Very quickly, financial difficulties can add stress to what is already a very stressful time. And so that's where Think Big is trying to come in. We're trying to help these families with routine expenses, mortgages, rent payments, utility bills, other out-of-pocket medical expenses, just to try and make that financial stress of this difficult time a little bit easier.
Everybody seemed to love the whole idea of giving back to the actual children and the parents of these kids.
The ability to be there with them while they're going through this and not have to worry about their job or, you know, paying the gas bill or paying the, you know, the rent. It could help immensely.
Think Big appreciates any support that local businesses, school districts, community organizations can provide to us. Our biggest source of fundraising comes from the community, so any small event isn't small to Think Big. A $200 fundraiser can go a long way in helping a family for a month. We're just trying to continue to help as many families as we can, so unfortunately, pediatric cancer is a very common condition, and so there's going to continue to be a need to help families throughout central and northeast Pennsylvania.
Mark, are you with us?
I've got you. Can you hear me?
We can indeed. Thank you very much for all you do. How do you
Thank you for having me.
How do you get your referrals, the family referrals?
Yep. So the family referrals will typically come from the social workers in the hospital. So we really train and talk to the social workers at all the area hospitals and even some that are out of our area to know what Think Big is, know what we do, and to be able to reach out to these families and also to speak with them about, you know, applying for financial help.
Do you have any limits or criteria for eligibility? Any maximums or minimums in terms of the support you might give any one family?
Yeah, so we give each family up to $5,000 per year, and it is based on the family's income. So it is geared toward, you know, families who really need the assistance versus some that might be a little bit better off. So we do, you know, ask for them to submit proof of, you know, their employment and their income prior to providing that assistance.
Okay. How many families, I think you may have mentioned it, how many families have you helped in a normal year? I know you're growing.
So our normal year in terms of assistance hasn't really changed with the pandemic. I mean, like Colby says in the video, unfortunately, pediatric cancer is still an issue. So, I mean, already in Luzerne County, this year we've helped 5 families with just under $11,000 worth of support. Over the years since 2014, we've helped 23 different families from the area, 147 since we started in northeast and central Pennsylvania. So it's really, I mean, it fluctuates slightly, but it's really somewhere around that 25 to 30 families per year that we try to help without in our viewing area.
Great, thank you. We certainly appreciate that. Sometimes the greatest medicine can be love and participation of the family with their child. So
no, absolutely, and we appreciate the support from the Luzerne Foundation and some of the other organizations that are on the call as well. So thank you for the opportunity.
It's our honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all you do, and you'll be hearing from us.
Thank you. Take care.
Last in the health and wellness area is the Rural Health Corporation.
Many thanks to the Luzerne Foundation for this opportunity to share our story and talk about our critical need. Rural Health Corporation of Northeastern Pennsylvania is a federally qualified health center, and we've been providing health care to the community since 1971, coming on celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. We operate 7 medical centers, 3 dental centers, and a homeless clinic in Luzerne and Wyoming counties. Our mission is to provide health care to residents of all income levels, with special emphasis on the uninsured, the underserved, and the indigent. Our 3 dental centers provide services to the most needy population in their communities. The dental centers located in Luzerne and Wyoming counties have a patient population that goes beyond the boundaries of those counties. We're the only oral health care provider in the community that offers a sliding fee to patients and one of the few providers that accepts medical assistance patients. 70% of our patient users are medical assistants and uninsured individuals. COVID-19 has changed the landscape of dentistry and how we safely provide care to our patients. In March of 2020, we were mandated to close our dental centers and to just provide dental emergency care. As we opened up our dental centers in June, we were faced with a backlog of patients that needed dental care. Following guidelines set forth by the Centers for Disease Control, new protocols and procedures were put into place as rural health has ensured we provide a safe and healthy environment for our staff and patients. We conducted a risk assessment and realized that we needed to take extra steps. The procedures that our dental providers perform can create aerosols, which can then suspend viruses and bacteria in the air for a period of time, and then ultimately deposit on clinical surfaces as well as on the personal protective equipment worn by our healthcare providers. We have added additional PPE. We've added air scrubbers to our current HVAC system and introduced a new protocol for patient arrival, which includes screening questions and temperature checks, as well as a video doorbell system. The CDC recommends the use of a portable HEPA air filtration unit while dental patients are undergoing and immediately following an aerosol generating procedure. Also, the CDC says that rather than just relying on the building's HVAC system capacity, to use a HEPA air filtration unit to reduce aerosol concentrations in the room and increase the effectiveness of the turnover time. So the risk assessment challenges identified will be corrected with funding to cover the addition of portable, half-a-space, medical-grade HEPA air filtration units at our Black Creek and Freeland dental centers. Through the generosity of several organizations such as Angel Flight East, Stronghold Logistics, and Mersix, we have received donations of personal protective equipment which have assisted rural health with the critical infection control and safety issues we have requested in this proposal to keep our patients and staff safe. We are partnering with Wyoming County Community Health Foundation to consider funding for a portion of this project for our Knoxon Dental Center. We are grateful to the Luzerne Foundation for consideration funding this critical need for our dental centers and helping us to continue our mission in the neighborhoods and communities that we serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate it. Are you online as well now?
I am, yes. Hi,
Good.
Charles. Thank you.
We certainly appreciate the need for the units. How much is each one of these units? And how many do you need?
We would need 6 units, 1 for each provider at our Freeland and Black Creek Dental Centers. So total, we're asking for $3,300, and that would include a year's worth of filters. We're on a automatic shipment of replacement filters to ensure that the centers are kept safe.
All right, excellent. Fairly straightforward request and a very obvious need. You know, it's amazing how poor dental management can percolate to poor health overall. So thank you for all you're doing there, and we will be in touch.
Okay, thank you very much, and
Thank
good
you.
luck to everyone. Thank you.
And going into the home stretch, we have Historic Preservation and Environment, starting with Ep Cameron.
My name is Laura Reinheimer, Environmental Education Coordinator at PAMR.
And I'm Bobby Hughes, the Executive Director for the Eastern Pennsylvania Coalition for Abandoned Mine Reclamation.
Oh, and I'm Ethan Hughes.
We're an environmental nonprofit located in Ashley, Pennsylvania, and we really need your help. Part of what we do is education and outreach to our area youth and underserved communities in order to build stewardship for our environment. Prior to COVID, we would teach in our area schools, community centers, and even at local events. However, these are no longer options, so we have to think outside of the box for ways to reach people.
Hi, this is Bobby Hughes. I'm the Executive Director for the Eastern Pennsylvania Coalition for Abandoned Mine Reclamation. Just wanted to take a few moments and talk about nature a little bit and trying to get kids outside, especially during the pandemic here. We know kids are cooped up a lot over the last year, and it's our hope that we can secure some funding and work with some schools and after-school programs and underserved populations and some of our minority populations in the school districts in the area to get them outside. We want to take them to some clean streams. We want to show them some of the impacts of mining pollution in our region.
Our community has such beautiful land and trails. We would love for people to get out more and explore them. This is Sugar Notch Trails, located in Ashley, Pennsylvania. We needed to find a way to build local stewardship, teach about our environment, and get families outside more during this difficult time. We decided to create geocaches as a way for families in our community to explore and appreciate nature. Geocaching is near and dear to my heart because after my father passed away, it was the first activity we really did as a family again, and it worked as a catalyst to get me back out enjoying nature and using it to heal. Geocaching is like treasure hunting. You're looking for an item using GPS locations and sometimes a compass. When you finally find your geocache, you open it up and see what kind of treasures you find inside. It could be anything from little trinkets to stickers. In our geocaches, we want to put pendants made using our recycled iron oxide from our local streams. Once you find a geocache, you also get to sign the logbook, showing the world that you are there. The Geocache app allows the creator of the cache to enter information about the area, which pops up when someone hunts for the cache. We will get to teach communities by providing scientific and historical content in each of the geocaches. Geocaching is an exciting way to get families out and about exploring our lands while building skills.
2, 3. Thank you.
Laura, thank you very much. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Excellent. How do you get people informed about the geocaching and the, as you say, treasure hunting? How do you do your outreach?
Yeah, one of the ways we're going to use is our website and social media. We actually just had a big event, which was a tree planting event, and we saw how quickly people were able to sign up for that. So it's definitely reaching a lot of people just through that. And then there's also people who already use the geocaches, and we could actually reach them and start teaching them about historical information from our area. So it's kind of a twofold thing. We can get new people out and people who are already out there using it.
So you're really looking at a combination of environmental and recreation in this, and education, obviously.
Absolutely.
All right. Is there a cost for each one of these geocaches, or I see you're asking for $5,000.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of a breakdown of the major expenses there.
Yeah, so each of the geocaches does have a cost, and I also included some maintenance so that this could actually last for years to come. We're going to be refilling them with the little pendants that are made of iron oxide, along with a little information about them. There's also some trackables involved where you can have a little necklace that has the geocache pendant, and it could go all over the world and include that information about Luzerne County so that we really get out there worldwide. So it's a really cool outreach project.
Wonderful. And thank you for what you're doing to clean our streams and waters across the region. Greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it, and you'll be hearing from us. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Yep. And last but not least is the North Branch Land Trust. Get ready to get cold.
Hi, my name is Paul Lumia. I'm the Executive Director of North Branch Land Trust. We're standing on Hanover Reservoir in Hanover Township. We are looking to conserve 1,400 acres in this area. It's a beautiful project. We have funding to purchase the property from the Earth Conservancy, and we also have $15,000 to cover our administrative expenses, but we're short $5,000 on our administrative expenses. So we're asking the Luzerne Foundation to fund the remaining $5,000 to complete this conservation project. The project is full of history. Right behind me, we have Penobscot Mountain. And as you can see that knoll back there, that's the old Lehigh Valley passenger rail line. There are other rail lines which ran through this property. The Delaware and Lackawanna ran through here, as did the Central New Jersey Railroad, part of the old Lehigh rail and navigation system, all serving the coal industry here and some of the breakers in the area, such as the Huber, the Hadley, the Bliss, and the Trunsdale breakers in this area. This project is unique in that once it's complete, it will be deeded over to the Pennsylvania Bureau of Forestry, and it'll be available to the public for passive recreation such as hiking, mountain biking, cross-country skiing, and maybe even some activities here on the reservoir. North Branch Land Trust has conserved over 6,000 acres in this area, all of which have been transferred over to the Pennsylvania Bureau of Forestry. So this parcel, which runs from Alden Mountain all the way over to Sugar Notch in Hanover Township, will complete a string of properties that have been conserved and that will be made available to the public for recreation activities. The outflow of Hanover Reservoir is SB Run, this beautiful mountain creek. SB Run flows out of Hanover Reservoir and into Nanaco Creek, which flows into the Susquehanna River. The Susquehanna River flows into the Chesapeake Bay, so this is a vital watershed property for the Chesapeake Bay. This 1,400 acre property has beautiful scenic vistas. As I mentioned earlier, it has a number of old rail lines which run through the property. Some were passenger lines, some were lines servicing the coal industry and the breakers in the area here. These old rail lines will serve as great hiking trails and great for recreational activities for people in the Wyoming Valley. It's a spectacular piece of property with beautiful scenery, beautiful mountain vistas right here in our backyard. Thank you for considering North Branch Land Trust and our Hanover Reservoir Conservation Project. Hi.
Paul, you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can indeed. Thank you very much. You have a great steady hand in cold weather.
Thank you.
Did a nice job. So you just need to get over that peak. The $5,000 will put you flush and complete the project.
Correct. Our grant funding, unfortunately, does not cover any administrative costs to take care of these projects. So much of that money comes from our fundraising activities. And like I said, we've raised about $15,000 to cover our administrative expenses, which will cover about a 2-year period for the length of time that it's going to take to complete the project. We're coming down to the home stretch in that we hope to complete the project by the end of the summer, and we want to cover our administrative expenses as best possible. So we're reaching out to the Luzerne Foundation for the remaining $5,000.
Sure. And by deed, these properties will never be developed. Is that correct?
Correct. All the money, all the grant funding we receive from state and federal sources to actually purchase the property has a caveat written into each grant by legislation that says the land can never be developed since the money acquired gotten through grants to acquire the property went to a conservation organization. So it's written right into the grant document via legislation, so it can never be developed. So for instance, if we flip the property to Bureau of Forestry and they someday decide to say, oh, well, we're going to sell it, that would be against the law, and they would have to be adjudicated by the Attorney General of the state of Pennsylvania. So it's pretty ironclad conservation.
Once it is donated, do you have any further participation with it, such as developing trails or, you know?
Yeah, we have an obligation as the land trust to check on the property every year or so, just to make sure that there's no nefarious activities taking place related to what the grant funding was supposed to protect. So, but you know, again, given that we're flipping it over to the Pennsylvania Bureau of Forestry, we have a long relationship with them. The PA Bureau of Forestry obviously will be here for quite a long time, and we don't suspect that will be any problems going forward. In fact, you know, much of the property will be, you know, will be developed for trails, hiking, maybe some activities on the reservoir. So it'll be a big plus for the community.
Great, great. Yes, go for it.
Approximately how many people hike these trails every year?
We have a question here. Approximately how many people hike these trails every year? I realize that may be a little premature given the status, but you know, throughout the various lands that you have, that they are open to recreational use. And what would you estimate is the amount of use?
Well, that's a good question. We've done some studies in the past with the Pennsylvania Environmental Council with trail counters and such. And during the time of COVID, many of these public lands have basically been overrun with people, which I guess is a good thing. But it goes into the thousands over the past year or so on some of the trails, on some of the public properties that we've conserved. That you know, I don't have exact numbers, but it's many thousands of people.
Great, wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you for all you're doing to preserve our land and our environment, and you'll be hearing from us. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thanks, Charles, and congratulations on your impending retirement. And if you need something to do, give us a call.
Well, I may just, not to worry.
Okay.
Not
all right.
to worry.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our nonprofit forum for Tuesday, the 20th of March, or April, excuse me. We will have another set of 18 grants tomorrow. We hope you can join us as much as possible for that. But also be aware that many of these organizations, if not all, are going to be participating in our NEPA Gives program that's going to be held on June 4th. It is a regional-wide effort. We're hoping that we will be able to raise over $1 million for any variety of charities across our region, but obviously we would like to focus on the charities here in Luzerne County. And there are matching dollars available and some prizes that the most successful charity may have. So you'll be hearing more about that in the weeks to come. But if you are a charity, please sign up and participate. And we look forward to a very successful June 4th. But once again, we do have the second day of our nonprofit forum coming up tomorrow, starting at 8:30. We're going to review 18 different grants, and then our Luzerne Foundation Grants Distribution Committee, led by Tara Mugford Wilson, will be deliberating on the final grants that will be awarded. If you have any questions on any of these grants, please contact the foundation at any time. We can provide the written documentation as well. And for those grants that were not reviewed here, we actually put together a wish book fund for all of the grants that were submitted, such as Country Art Farms, Just for Success, that were not participating in today's nonprofit forum, but have a very important need and are addressing very important issues. But the Grants Distribution Committee, their deliberations did have to narrow it down to what we felt were the most critical needs within the different areas. So please take a look at that. That will be an ongoing resource. And is there anything else, Doug? Diane, do you have anything else to add? Well, thank you for joining us. We hope many of you can join us tomorrow, featuring neighborhoods and community development, social services, and youth. And of course, our questions, 570-822-2065. Thank you and have a wonderful day. 7 of the